negative. Now I got to multiply it out. Can I multiply this out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all I do is distribute. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let's distribute here first. McKay, what will that give me?
X squared.
X squared
5x.
plus 5x. Very good. Okay, and then Whitley, distribute the negative 3. What will that give me?
Times the negative 3x
Good.
and negative 15.
Good. Add your like terms. X squared plus 2x minus 15. But what's still in front?
Negative.
The negative. Distribute the negative. And what's my answer? Just changes every sign. That equals f of x. Okay? That's in standard what? Form. Okay? And that's what it would look like. By the way, where should it cross the y-axis up here? If I'm being honest.
15?
Yeah. Because think about it. If x is 0, that's where it crosses the y-axis. It would cross the y-axis at 15. Just side note. We're not going to worry about it that much right now, but later on, that's what we're going to start worrying about, okay? But for now, don't worry about that. We're just going to write this. All right, okay, next one. What are the zeros on the next one?
Negative 4, 0, and
Negative 4, 0, and 1. Okay, so here's my graph. Negative 4, marking that. 0, marking that. 1, marking that. Okay, leading coefficient is what? Negative, meaning it should start on a what path? Upward path or downward path? Downward. From the far left, we're going to start on a downward path. When I'm done, because I just connected all those, right? When I'm done, what do I expect the degree of the polynomial to be? Say that, Caden. 3. How come, Caden? How many zeros did I have?
3.
So therefore, the degree of the polynomial should be what?
3.
3. Okay? So the degree of this polynomial should be 3 when I'm done. How do I write the factors? Notice the roots were 3, negative 5. My factors were in parentheses opposite signs. Everybody notice that on the last one? So how can I write my factors with opposite signs on this one, Jace? What are my factors going to be on this one?
X equals plus 4.
X plus 4 is one of them.
X
Plus 0,
yeah, plus
right?
0,
Because 0 doesn't really matter. And then what?
X minus 1.
X minus 1. I'm going to multiply all these together. Do I really even need the 0 here? No, I'm just going to multiply these together. I'm going to distribute the x here. What does that give me? X squared minus what? X. And then I'm going to times it to x plus 4. Now I'm going to distribute the x. Okay. Addie. Is that right?
Yeah.
Addie? Okay. So Addie, what will I get when I distribute the x?
X cubed.
Very good. You add the exponents. A lot of kids miss that. I hear a lot of kids go 2x squared. No. We're adding the exponents. X cubed minus what? X squared. Very good. Distribute the 4. What do I get?
Positive 4x squared.
Notice where I wrote that. I wrote it right underneath the other x squared, so I lined those up. And then what? Minus 4x. And then I have x cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x. Now I got to check it. Was my coefficient positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. Oh, I got to times this whole thing by a what?
Negative.
Negative. I really was doing that there too. Okay? So distribute the negative. What does distributing a negative do? Changes every sign. Is my degree to the third power?
Yes.
Did I expect it to be? Yes. I expected it to be. Okay? All right, let's try the next one. Okay? What are the key points I want to mark?
2, 0.
Just 2 and 0, but 0 has what? Duplicity. So I'm going to actually make that a little bit bigger shade there than the 2. And what should it look like because it has duplicity? It's gonna bounce off that. Is my leading coefficient positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive, so I should start going up till I hit the first zero to the left, which is the 0. It's gonna bounce off that. How did I know it was gonna bounce off that? Duplicity, right? That's how I knew it was gonna bounce off that. Then it's gonna go halfway between, which is right about there, and then cut back what? Up and through. How come that one's gonna go through? There was no duplicity at 2. So if there's no duplicity, it's gotta cut through. If there is duplicity, it's gotta bounce off. You might wanna write that in your notes, by the way. It bounces off if there's duplicity. It bounces off if there's duplicity. It cuts through if there's no duplicity. It cuts through the x-axis if there's no duplicity. It bounces off the x-axis if there is. Okay? All right. What are my factors? This one's kind of tricky. Not really, but kind of. How many factors are there? There's actually 3 factors. How come? How many zeros were there?
2.
There's actually 3. Because one has duplicity, so I got to list it what?
Twice.
Twice. So in other words, I should have x, x. What do those represent? X plus 0 and x plus 0, right? But they're really just x, right? X, x, and then what's the last one? X what 2? Minus 2. Always change the sign of the 0 as you write it as a factor. Okay? Because really what you're saying is x equals 2. You're subtracting 2. That's why it's that. Can I multiply this out? Yeah, it's pretty easy to multiply that out. X times x is x squared, and then just distribute it through the x minus 2. So what will I get? X cubed minus 2x what? Squared, and that equals f of x. And does that look right? What do I mean by does that look right? How many zeros were given to us? 3. Is that to the 3rd power? Then I've done it right. Okay, if it's not to the 3rd power, I haven't done it right. Everybody with me on that? Kind of tricky. Okay, flip it over. I'm going to do a few of these with you. Stop.